All right, here are comics here. Make some serial calls, transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, we react to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube and DeviantArt. They're responsive comments. I'm going to get these deviant lifestyles and a few other things. Trigger warning: if you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and click off the video. Do not lie and say there's hate tweets in my videos because there is no hate tweets in my videos. The speech you hate, that's a different story. Let's continue on with people getting things wrong in these comment sections and me trying to straighten them out with Bible versus their basic biology, and then getting to talk about that. There may be some overlap, but it's important so that we can get all the information that's here. Person says they turned their dev company into We Happy Few, didn't they? And I said that world is supposed to be satire, not a company policy. White-eyed emoji. These game devs have no idea what a hook is or how to create one. Thumbs up. Little Unhinged is the polite way of saying what her types truly are, because to them, butter is political. Thumbs up. If you didn't need a reason to be on what's happening with We Happy Few, then here's one. Thumbs up. This one really hurts. I loved We Happy Few. The story and voice acting are really something special. Now they can't go on there soon enough. We put an A there instead of an S. That's soon enough. F Compulsion and Microsoft. And the source says the Compulsion logo strangely reminds you of American McGee. I don't know what that is. You can tell me in the comment section. It's funny seeing people say we see Baby ruin Compulsion games when they had never made anything worth playing to begin with, according to the person's opinion. We Have a Few was terrible. I have no clue why anyone expected anything coming out of this studio to be good. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Why do I have a feeling that she has upper middle class parents and potentially lived in a gated community growing up? Ugh, ugh, ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Continue on. Someone says, always remember, they did it once, they will do it again. With fair weather friends like that, who needs enemies? Do not forgive, do not forget. Someone said, falling off. Stay there, stay there. Yeah. Yep. Try to grab you, hold on to you correctly. Here you go. Yeah. Hug. Hug. Likes hugs. She likes hugs. Yeah. But I got to do work. Go on. Release. There you go. There you go. It's human nature to destroy one's enemies. Never forget that. You must entrust none who would convince you otherwise. To somebody else. And I say, we Christians go beyond humanity. Matthew 5:44 says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you. And pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Thankfully, in this case, doing good to those that hurt you, is not to buy their products. They need to quit. They are in the wrong profession. Angry face emoji. Angry ghost face emoji. Yeah, so as someone says, yeah, they won't see mercy as a second chance to be better. They'll see it as a second chance to pull off their plans. If they want to make money, they will quit or get replaced by new companies and people who won't do it. So as a mercy is a weakness they have exploited too many times. So as just want to add food for thought, not to disagree. Click. Necessary with what you're saying. So something I tell people as a Christian. Forgiveness doesn't mean friendship. I can forgive a person. It's better for my mental health to move on, as so much as it benefits the offending party. But that does not mean that I now must trust them. True. I'm not required to be friends. I certainly don't have to expose my back and give them a chance to stab it again. Simple forgiveness over the offense and then move on. Moving on. Us going our separate ways. As an anecdote, I once called my best friend with my girlfriend. I hated him for years and started to jump at the chance to revenge. Then I had another Christian explain why revenge is best left to God. I'll not get into that, but the reason I bring this up, bring up this story, is because you have no idea the kind of relief I felt when I finally let it go. It actually felt like a weight was lifted on my back. I realized that just how much energy I spent hating on and thinking of the guy. Shutting off that energy just felt so relaxing. Yeah, it's not up to you when it comes to stuff like that, It's not fun, but you leave it alone. You gotta learn to trust God on it. Leave that stuff alone. Move on with your life. The best revenge you can have is to live a good life, despite what they did to you. That's the best revenge. Go. Let's see. Anyway, forgiveness is something I'm willing to give, but it doesn't mean I'm going to act like things are still the same. Besides, forgiveness sort of requires the other guy to ask for it. And I doubt these guys will be doing that. In fact, I think they'll be spending a ton of energy hating us. And so it says, I say, don't just remember, or rather act. Don't stop the punishment, and don't buy their games. As far as I'm concerned, they are excommunicado traitors. Traitors. And I say, as a Christian, I must forgive, but I will never forget. Smiley face emoji. Got to be like that. There you go. He was destroy his enemies, don't forget that. I am Jewish. Never forget, never forget, never again. So it says, we'll ruin video games for food. Yeah, it was like the thumbnail. It was a thumbnail of a video talking about how the woke DEI pushing devs are having trouble. And on the thumbnail, you have a guy, a young dude with a sign, a young dude looking like a woke DEI pushing dev with a sign that says, "We'll ruin your game, ruin video games for food." So I say, "We'll ruin video games for food." Looks like you're gonna starve. So I'm just like, well. DI Halo 463, 3 parts left to go. Thanks for supporting the series so far, said Brad about Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. And I say, Lex probably hates Batman too. When he has Superman weakened by kryptonite, Batman has saved him from it. So 2 birds with 1 stone, this is we're at the part where Batman has been defeated by Harley and by Suicide Squad members you play as. Harley, King Shark, Pat Boomerang, and Deadshot, Black Deadshot. And they basically take him to LexCorp to be experimented on, so they find out how to beat Superman. My opinion, they should take him to LexCorp to experiment on how to stop, to turn him back to normal, so that he will actually, not be controlled by Brainiac no more. But they didn't care about that. They wanted to kill him. So the writers wanted to kill him. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, so maybe writers wanted to kill that guy. So there you go. And I say hopefully. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Hopefully 2 clone birds. That was correct. But someone says, "Nah, you're wrong." Oh yeah, that aged like potato salad in the sun, very badly. Nah, you're wrong. This one year ago. I'm just like, yeah, I was correct. Clone birds. They did clones. So who knew Brad would put down one of the characters he's played as so many times on the channel? R.I.P. Arkham Batman. And so it says, Batman's canonical death in the Brad universe was when that shark ate him in Arkham City, and Brad lost his stuff. Brad lost his crap. You're laughing to your cry emoji. And so it says, wish we could have seen Batman find his most iconic line. Finish his iconic line. Would have been nice to hear from the most iconic Batman voice of all time, Kevin Conroy. Well, the issue is that was a parody. In Suicide Squad Kill Justice League, Dragon Age Veilguard, Last of Us 2, Alan Wake 2, these are, I see them all as parodies of the original things. That's what I'm going to see them as. Going to make a video about that very soon. It's going to be amazing and hilarious and ironic, but that's the way I see things now. See it now, because obviously these are parodies. They're saying they're not parodies, but they are. Because woke DI pushers, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Got time. When a woke DI pusher tries to make a parody or something silly and fun, it doesn't work out very well. But when a woke DI pusher tries to make something serious, often it is hilarious. So yeah. Often it is hilarious. So yeah, they made Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as a serious game. It's supposed to be the next the sequel to the Batman Arkham series, but it's a parody of it. It's a parody of it. Not they won't admit it, but it's a parody of it. Dragon Age Veilguard is a parody of the Dragon Age series. Alan Wake 2 is a parody of the Alan Wake. Last of Us 2 is a parody of Last of Us 1. It's just the way it goes. It's all parody. It's not real. It's not canon. We fans do not accept that stuff as canon. How it goes. And then someone said, what was it? Sorry. That's why I don't let him finish the line, because it's a parody. And Kevin Conroy was in on it. He knew it was going to be a joke. Not a joke, but definitely Batman was going to be silly and evil in this one. So he's like, okay, So he agreed to do it because he knew it was going to be some silly stuff. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he may have had fun. That's the issue. Like Carrie Fisher had fun making the Star Wars prequels. Harry Conroy probably had fun making Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But the problem is, they helped make that stuff. That's just not good. That's how it goes. All right. So it says, Harley carrying Batman as a callback was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I've seen all year. Laughing to your cry emoji. It was pretty hilarious. But I knew why they were doing it. So it definitely had that tint of, take that, Batman, for you being such a jerk, for attacking this poor, unfortunate soul who was trying to kill everyone, or kill your friends, and, take over and cause more problems when you free these Joker-like characters would have gone and do even more crazy stuff and killed more people if you hadn't stopped them. So right now. Obvious joke. Obvious jab at him. Kim Belair, the black girl, Black Girl Gamer CEO. staff writer at The Verge. Yeah,